Guys, we've covered Chief fans on here many, many times, but we've got more Chiefs fans continuing to show that these guys have been spoiled by the refs always giving them the calls over the years. And when it comes to actually knowing what the rules are in an NFL football game, they're just time and time again proving that they actually don't know the rules in the NFL. Let's expose another Chiefs fan. Or shall I say fans, because All Chiefed Up is a YouTube channel. They've also got an X account here as well as a TikTok account. One of the bigger Chiefs channels out there from what I've been able to see. And they're just showing that Chiefs fans don't know the rules when it comes to football. Now here they are on their X page saying that the Petrie hit from last night should have been a helmet-to-helmet targeting penalty. Absolutely laughable, because this was one of the cleanest, most perfect tackles I've ever watched. Just absolutely laid him out, reminded me of old school football. And of course you got Chiefs fans crying about it while they ignore stuff like this. All Chiefed Up, where were you during last year's playoff game when this was called a flag, when he hit him in the chest? Or when this was called a flag, when the two Texans players themselves hit each other helmet to helmet, didn't even sniff Mahomes, and this was called somehow a flag as well. But I'm sure you were completely quiet because it was benefiting your Chiefs. The refs were giving you guys BS that you guys did not deserve. Both of these calls shouldn't have been flags, and you guys were silent when it came to the fact, which these two plays changed the entire landscape of how last year's playoff game went. Now back to why they think it's targeting. They're saying it's targeting because Petrie's helmet looks like it does hit the face mask of Rice's helmet. And so they're saying because of that, this should have been targeting. But as I said before, these guys clearly don't know the rules. See, here is the rules from the NFL itself. And it says right here, these provisions do not prohibit incidental contact by the mask or the helmet in the course of a conventional tackle. So that's right, guys. You're allowed to have incidental contact if you're making a good, clean tackle. Now, let's go to another viewpoint of the Petrie hit and show what exactly he was doing right before he made contact. So this is right before the hit, guys. Petrie, clear as day, is leaning in his right shoulder to hit Rice on his left shoulder. Clear as day. His helmet is going in front of Rice. Now, I thought this was basics, as far as human anatomy goes. When you lower your shoulder, I'm gonna demonstrate it right here. When you lower your shoulder, your head naturally goes downwards. Do you see how that works? Your shoulder gets low, your head naturally follows. That's how it works when your shoulder goes low, in case you didn't know, bud. He's lowering his shoulder to hit Rice on his shoulder. His head is naturally going to follow with where he's leading his shoulder. He makes incidental contact. I'm not saying he didn't hit him in the helmet. He makes incidental contact after his right shoulder makes contact with Rice's left shoulder, and his helmet ends up hitting Rice in what looks like the face mask. But initial contact was with the shoulder. That is not a flag, dude. Learn the rules. Quit bitching and moaning. You guys have had enough calls that were BS going your way over the past 10 years. And I'm able to say this as a Texans fan who lost to you guys in last year's playoff game with some very questionable calls. One that led to a field goal, another one that led to a touchdown. That's 10 points. You guys won by 9. Those two plays should have been the end of your drives. They immediately resulted in 10 points. Again, you only won by 9. This is also somebody who actually, during y'all's first Super Bowl with Mahomes versus the 49ers, was actually cheering for y'all to win that one. And even after watching that one, I said that y'all shouldn't have won that one. The 49ers got absolutely robbed in that game with how the refs gave y'all that game, with some awful calls in y'all's favor, awful missed calls that were not seen. That should have gone the 49ers' favor. And then the first one y'all had against the Eagles, that should have been the Eagles' one as well. Awful calls went y'all's way and against the Eagles. And this was someone from an unbiased perspective, just sitting there watching the game with no dog in the fight. So next time you're bitching and moaning on social media about a play like this, and you're acting like it should have been a penalty, maybe next time you need to learn the rules there, bud, before you go and make yourself look like a jackass. Go Texans.